A lot of professional YouTubers use GoPros in their videos, and often people get frustrated when their own GoPro videos don't come out the same. Whether it's shaky footage, bad lighting, or editing, there's a lot of things that go into making a video with your GoPro. I've been using GoPro cameras for over 5 years now, and in that time I've learned a lot about how to create good shots and videos. Hey guys, I'm Raymond Tiller, and today I'm going to be telling you 5 GoPro beginner mistakes and how to fix them. Now, I definitely remember the feeling when I first captured great footage with my GoPro. I suddenly went from capturing mediocre footage to having some great shots. And you can do the same thing if you avoid these 5 mistakes. The Hero 10 allows for you to film in 5.3K 60, 4K 120, and even 2.7K 240. However, a lot of people out there make the mistake of using the same settings all the time. They have the mindset that whatever settings the GoPro comes with is what they're always going to use. However, this won't allow for you to capture the best footage possible. Changing up your frames per second is huge. The more movement your video requires, the higher your frames per second should be, and vice versa. You should also adjust your field of view. This is probably the most overlooked setting with all action cameras, as people never tend to think about their field of view. GoPros allow for you to film in narrow, linear, wide, and even super view modes. All of them work great if you use them in the right places. Now, one of the most common complaints with GoPro cameras is their performance in low light. I'll talk about lighting later on in the video, but you should also adjust your ISO settings. If you're always filming in the same settings, you're holding yourself back when filming with your GoPro. If you want to capture the best looking footage possible, then change your settings in different situations. Now, before I continue forward, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss out on new videos. It's no secret that you have almost an endless amount of accessories and mounts to use with a GoPro. Whether it's the classic tripod or an underwater light tray, you have a ton of options. However, another mistake some people make with their GoPro is either always using the same mount or not even using one at all. Not using a mount at all while filming is a big mistake. You can capture some pretty cool shots just holding your GoPro in your hand, but it's not the best way to go about filming. I've seen a few people using no mount with their GoPro while filming underwater. After a while of watching how they filmed, I realized that their shot was never going to be as good as they want it to be. So you always need to make sure you're using some sort of handle or mount while filming. Now, on the other hand, if you're using the same mount every time while filming, you're making another mistake. This greatly limits what you can film, and even though it may seem easier, you won't quite be able to capture all the footage you want to. Most people buy a selfie stick or tripod and call it a day. But if you want to make your videos look cinematic and awesome, using different mounts is the best way to go. GoPro cameras get some slack for how they perform in low light. Now, this has gotten better, especially with the Hero 10, but it's something that will continue to improve. A lot of beginners film with their GoPro in low light, and they think that the footage will look clear. Of course, without the right settings, they'll end up being disappointed. But there are things you can do to fix this. The higher your ISO max and minimum are, the better your video will look in low light. So you definitely need to adjust that. However, having your video be too dark isn't the only problem, as you can also have your video be too bright. A lot of beginners point their GoPro right at the sun and don't realize that their lighting will be ruined. In past videos, I've talked about using the sun to create cinematic looks in your shots. And if you have the right lighting, you can easily do this. In order to have good lighting in your video, make sure the sun isn't directly in your background. Action cameras are built to film things on the go, but that doesn't mean you can rush your shot. Now, I've seen this happen a lot, especially while diving. People will film something for a second or two, then quickly move on to the next thing. This is not how you want to use your GoPro. These cameras are built to enable you to capture the best footage possible, and if you take your time, you can create some incredible shots. Taking your time also allows for you to use slow motion in your video. The longer you film something, the more slow motion you can use, which is always a bonus. Trust me, no one wants to click on your video and watch you film a million different things in the span of 60 seconds. But if you're able to slow down and focus on what you're filming, you can capture some amazing shots with your GoPro. Now, I hate to break it to you, but buying a GoPro doesn't automatically make you a good filmmaker. A lot of people have the mindset that the camera will do the work for you, and that you don't need to add anything else in the video. This isn't true if you want to create good videos with your GoPro, which is why you need to do some editing to your videos. Now, this is a tip that I learned over time. If you go back to the first couple of videos on my channel, there's no editing whatsoever. However, over time, I started to add things like good music, creative transitions, and good colors to my video. If you happen to have crappy footage, you can still make it look good in your video, just from doing some editing. All of the previous tips I mentioned in this video help you create good shots with your GoPro. But if you want to make good videos, then you need to do some editing first. Now, when you put all of these together, you can start to see some of the mistakes that maybe you were making. To fix these common mistakes, you need to adjust your settings, use different mounts, make sure you have good lighting, take your time while filming, and do some editing. Alright guys, so that is pretty much going to wrap up today's video, but before you go, make sure to smash that like button, comment down below what you think, and most importantly, subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss out on awesome videos just like this one. I'm Raymond, and I'll see you on the next video.